Hello people. Today we are going to be doing sort of a plush year in review, and we'll be covering every single plush that released in 2021.
Because that's just how we're gonna roll.
Okay, the first plush that released, or the first plush set I should say, was part of Super Nintendo World. Now the theme park was originally supposed to release in 2020, but due to the pandemic it was delayed till February 2021. And when it eventually opened, this set of plushes released alongside with it. Now this is the Super Nintendo World Large Bowser plush. Now I just got this yesterday as of the day of filming this video, and it is now my favorite plush out of my collection, beating Dry Bowser. I know. This thing's just beautiful detail. And one thing I forgot to mention is that his collar is completely wrapped around his head, which is not present on the Cine one. And overall the detail's just exquisite on this one. It's beautiful. Like, they did not cut corners on this, and it's very, very quality. And especially by the price, it's like $103 for this. So I would definitely recommend it if you can afford it, and it is my favorite plush out of my whole collection. And we just did a discussion about this recently too, so if you want to hear our thoughts on the rest of the plushes, you can go ahead and listen to that. But Evan, your thoughts on the Nintendo World plushes?
Yeah, I totally agree. The detail in this one is amazing. And of course, it is really, really well detailed. I personally like everything about it. I'm surprised they didn't have beans in it, because I'm pretty sure the Chef Toad has beans in it. And overall, I agree. Everything's pretty nice. This Bowser is very, very well made. You can make his mouth close a little. The one weird thing is that his eyebrows aren't really even. They start over here, and I'm pretty sure. But it doesn't really matter about the accuracy. I know the All-Star one is like better accurate, but this one doesn't really matter about the accurate because it's just like so good. Because this is probably our favorite Bowser, even though it's a little less accurate. It doesn't matter about the accurate. Like I said, it just matters if you like it better or not, just because it kind of looks odd, so that's what probably makes it appeal to a lot of people. But overall, it was the first thing that 2021 brought us. I wasn't too sure about the Bowser, but yeah, now I am, because we have it in person. But then, like in March, then the Dr. Mario set came, so we'll start talking about that. So
the next launch
Dr. Mario.
After the Super Nintendo World, this is the first Cine launch of the year, and it was Dr. Mario, or the Dr. Mario World set, I should say. This is the Little Buddy version, but the Cine version released in March of this year, I'm pretty sure, and it was very expensive just for this guy. I've seen listings for like $60 on Amazon when this first released, but we got him later in the year in the Little Buddy release, and he was only $30. So it's nice that they finally made a Dr. Mario, and his materials are very, very nice, very quality. The pill feels nice weird vinyl material, and overall it's a great character to have a plush of. Evan?
Yeah, I was pretty skeptical about this because this was actually the first Mario plush that had his full hair detail, because if you took off the head of the Mario, it'd be cut off right here where this line is the hair, and then it would just be completely bald and it would look super ugly. And what people did to make a Mario with hair, they actually ripped this part off and then flipped it over to here to make him have that hair. It looked very ugly how all those people did it. It was a unique way, but it still looked like ugly and just like off-putting. It made Mario like have big hair in the front. It just looks so weird. But it's finally nice that they gave a Mario with real hair detail. Hopefully we can see a Mario, this was not actually the first Mario with hair detail, because it was actually the Super Mario Odyssey Marios that had the hair detail. But this one was like the most small one, like the first normal size plush to have the normal hair. So that's pretty cool to see it here. And of course, it was really, really nice. And with that, they also made viruses with the set, which we'll get to now. So the viruses, in my opinion, were pretty good. I still liked how they included the viruses, like the main ones. So that was also pretty amazing. So overall, this was the Cine set, of course. They announced it 2 years back in 2020, and it is really amazing. So yeah, let's see what 2022 brings us this year with their first Cine Mario plushes.
And a cool thing about these viruses is that Each one is like kind of tiny. You can see it fits in my hands, but they included a tush tag on every one, which is kind of cool and neat. And all three of them have beads at the bottom, but I'm still thinking I should have left these in the box because it left sort of a little weird, like 2 dots there where the thread is. So I'm still wondering if that is. But yeah, that was the Sine's first releases of the year. So now let's move on. Let's go back to February, I should say. And one night on Twitter, Sine tweeted a huge announcement, and it was of All-Star Koopalings and All-Star Power-Ups. And I kid you not, when I first saw that tweet, I like jumped of 2 or 3 feet into the air because I was excited for that. So it was Koopalings they announced and Power-Ups they were announced. Now I was most excited for the Koopalings, as were probably everyone else. But I still got the Power-Ups, and now the complete set is complete. So here's the All-Star Mushroom. It has nice embroidered eyes, a lot of beads in the butt. 2021. This is the Little Buddy versions. I got the Little Buddy mushrooms for Christmas. And I pre-ordered the fire flower and the star. So that's why they have the short Sine Japanese tags. I pre-ordered these and I got these close to launch. So I was the first one to open these on YouTube, these 2 at least. And they're all quality power-ups. They look really nice together. It just makes me wish that they did more power-ups, like an ice flower and a tanuki leaf. And maybe a poison mushroom and a mini mushroom. But these are a nice release. I'm glad they did these, and it fits really well with the set. Now, Evan, your thoughts on these power-ups?
Yeah, like he said, Sean surprised me by showing the Koopalings. But I was more excited like about the power-ups because the Koopalings look like re-releases since all of them looked exactly like the old ones. But let's start off with the power-ups. The star was really, really nice. And overall, I was actually a little excited for the power-ups because this was the first time we got like normal-sized power-ups in a long time. Because the last time we got normal-sized power-ups were the Bam Presto old ones. And those were Bam Presto was the only one, I'm pretty sure, to make a normal-sized star, normal-sized fire flower, and normal-sized mushrooms. But the announcement that mostly got a little bit of people questioning was the All-Stars Koopalings. But people were skeptical about the All-Star Koopalings because they look exactly like the old ones. So people were pretty much disappointed, thinking that these were just re-releases, but they were still All-Star ones. But people were just like kind of disappointed that why would Sine make them look the exact same. And so you can see over here, if you look at a glance at them, and if you have the old ones, you'll probably say they look exactly like the old ones. So that's kind of a disappointment that they did not really change the look of them at all. But only like Morton, like look at Morton, he's the only one with a difference. Like I'm pretty sure you can't see it now, but if you compare it to like your old one, then you'll notice that the face is a little different. It's more soft actually and cuddly. Now the rest of them are not soft and cuddly. Only Morton is the one that got his soft. Maybe it's because of like wear on ours, but I don't think so. So the Koopalings were kind of a disappointment for a lot of people, because they just look the exact same. But the only good thing about this was that luckily they did not make them standing up, because everybody hates the All-Star Junior, including me, because I don't like it personally. I like it better than I hate it. Or not like too much hate it, but I like the old one over it, because the old one sitting down, it looks better accurate. And these things standing, I'm not sure if I would even get them if they were standing. Because that would just make me question everything. Why would Sine do this? They made them sit down, probably thinking like it won't get hate, but then it still does because they didn't change them at all. But I think Sean's the only one that's like really excited about these. He's probably the only person in the world that likes these and was happy with these, because everybody else was just complaining that they were just re-releases, but just with the All-Star tag. And these actually do look like they could have been re-released old ones, but just with the All-Star tag. So let's see what Sean has to say about these, because I think he's like the only one that's excited about these.
Okay, so like Evan said, I was pretty excited for these. They did look the same, but I was still excited to get like an all-star variation of these. And the only, like Evan said, the only difference is that Morton is very, very velvety. Hopefully the camera can show that. And I noticed a tiny, tiny difference in Roy's glasses, and that they're actually like going off of his head, because on the old ones they just look like they went like this and they were like pasted to his head. But this one, it kind of looks like they're going outwards like how they should. And pretty much that's the only differences that I noticed that were actually from the new set of plushes. Because this Iggy looks different, but that's only because the eyes are sewn different. And every Iggy's eyes are sewn different, so that's not really a feature that the All-Star one can call its own. So these still look the same. But I got all of these, pre-ordered them on Amazon Japan, and I got all of them close to release. I was the first one to open these on YouTube, and I'm pretty sure our video is doing really, really well of these unboxing. And there's only one other person I know that has at least some of these. And these, I guess, are not very popular compared to like Metal Mario and Dry Bowser, because a lot of people opened those back when they released back in 2020. But like I said, I'm pretty sure the only one that opened these for now, at least. And the power-ups came pretty quick. Like I said, the mushroom is already Little Buddy, or all of them are Little Buddy, I should say. But none of these are All-Star, or none of these are Little Buddy yet. So the only way you can still get these plushes is by getting them from Amazon Japan or other Japanese sites like Mecha Japan. And I will let everyone know when Little Buddy localizes these, but for now you still have to get the old ones if you're in America. So that was all of Sine's new releases in 2021. So overall, we're gonna rank them from 1 to 10. So I think it was a pretty good year, especially compared to like 2020. Because 2020 saw the releases of Metal Mario, Dry Bowser, the Babies, the Super Mario Maker 2 ones came out then too. Which, it's pretty good overall, but I think this year was much better in my opinion because it had the Super Nintendo World ones. It had the Koopalings, which I thought were still pretty cool. And then the power-ups, which are new people. So overall, I thought this year was pretty much really good. I think my ranking would be a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 is my ranking for 2021. Mr. Reynolds?
Yeah, I think it was kind of filled with a little joy this year. Because 2021 was pretty much a horrible year still. But, yeah, overall, the plush-wise, yeah, it was still pretty good. Sine held up pretty well during this pandemic. And let's see what 2022 has to bring us this year, or serves us this year. So, I think the plush range was probably like a 5 out of 10. Because it does not compare to any other year. And, yeah, because, like, go back to like 2015, that was like the most widely year, and like throughout the 2006 and those eras, they brought a lot of new plush sets, and there were obscure plush sets, but these were kind of thrown around with the All-Star set. But like 2006 through 2017 was like the most lively year of Sine because they brought so much. Like they introduced the All-Stars, they introduced the old ones, they introduced the Galaxy ones, the Yoshi's Island ones throughout those years, and the Wii ones. They introduced a lot over those years. So I think 2021 was like actually maybe a little like a 8 out of 10 because it seems like everything that they brought us this year could have well fit in with those old years. So yeah, overall pretty good. But we're gonna add one more thing what 2021 brought us. You could probably call them all-star ones because of how much these rare fellows changed. So let's start talking about the Amazon restocks of the rare Sine plushes. No other site besides Amazon has gotten these in, so they're probably just Amazon restocks. I thought they were just gonna be some old stock in their warehouse, but no, they actually have some big changes. Well, besides Pokey and I think Porky and Mecha Koopa were the Pokey and Pokey and the Pufferfish, whatever, I don't know what his name is anymore, Porky Puffer, were the only two that seemed like they were out of old stock, because everything else was like a huge difference. So let us introduce you to the Amazon restocks that revived the rares. Well, sorta, because some of them have went out of stock, and this guy was the one that went out of stock from the restocks. He was $210, but then his price dropped insanely to $70 because people overpriced him to $70, $20, $30, $40. So $20 to $70 or $80 was this guy's worth. It used to be $200 to $250. But now it's back to $200 to $250 because this Monty Mole went out of stock. But the restocks brought a lot of plushes like these fellows. But the Monty has some differences from the old one. Only like one major difference is because I noticed that the old one was quite taller, like body-wise. Like this whole part, like over here, was stretched out a little more in the old ones. And that was the only difference I knew. But overall, this one didn't really have a biggest change, so this one still seems like it could be an old one but defected. So let's hear Sean's thoughts with the Monty, and then I'll get on to the Porky Puffer.
Well, there's no thoughts for me on Monty, so I'll do my Porky Puffer. Now, I recently got a 2014 original release Porky Puffer back in June, and I forgot to get it with me right now, but from what I can tell, the only difference on this re-release is that the sewing on the eyes was a little bit different, but I think it's pretty much the same. It still looks great, and you can still get this one on Amazon, and it's usually from $17 to $20, so the price fluctuates on that one a lot. So Evan has a lot to say about Fuzzy, so Evan, get on with your Fuzzy differences.
Yeah, so before that, I'm gonna do the Porky Puffer. It was pretty good, no big difference like I said before that, so that one wasn't considered. But now, like the Fuzzy, this one is the one that they just rained his parade, like they messed up on him, like really, really bad. You might think the Fuzzy's cool and all, but you might think the old ones before the restocks were better after I give you this lesson. So the Fuzzy went back in stock. This was our Fuzzy. We were pretty excited, really, really excited for this Fuzzy. We thought it looked like stock image, but we now consider this one. This one should just might as well be All-Star with all the big changes that they made it. I honestly think it's not that good as old original release. So the original released Fuzzies were made by China. These ones are made by Vietnam now. But these ones are made by China, the old ones. And they were much more squishier, a little tinier. The eyes touch the lips, everything. Overall, it just looks so cute. Like really squishable and like cute. But like it just looks so cute, and they had good eyes too. The eyes touched the lips. The eyes were really squishy and mushy, but now these eyes feel hard as a rock. I'm like squeezing it so hard, but they're still not getting together. And for every single Fuzzy, the restock is not mushy at all. Like it barely is. Like, it just feels like a stone. This one feels cute and mushy and everything, but this one just feels like stone. Like, you can't do anything with it. And this one has like a more ball shape. This one kind of had like a ball shape, but it was still more like fuzzy. It just gave us more of that fuzzy vibe. But this one's just like a plain old ball, like cut in half. And the eyes kind of look like, the eyes were kind of cut in half on here, but they're like more, like they have a problem. Because you notice the stitching looks unnoticeable on the eyes in here, but now they just look like it's like tugging on like whatever hard thing is in here, like it's tugging it. And every single Fuzzy has their eyes looking up. They're bigger. Honestly, they don't look as cute anymore. This one does, but these are the Fuzzies that look really big. Not too happy with these ones. These ones should be considered All-Star. Not trying to bash the All-Star, but they just have so much improvements over this Cutie Woody. And they just look so different. Like, this one could be All-Star one. Like the Koopalings, basically. But overall, the Fuzzy restock was kind of a surprise, but it gave the biggest change out of all the plushes. So now the next biggest change Sean will go over was a Spike.
So let's start with Spike. So Spike did change a little, and I think it's for the better, personally. So as you can see, the new Spikes have bigger eyes compared to this one. This is the one that I got back in 2015. and it looks just like the stock photos that released out of that time that look like this. It has, or like the eye whites are the same size, it's just that like it's like more tucked into the lips, and this one's fully exposed, and I think this one looks funnier and derpier like that. So I think, yep, this was the only change they'd made with Spike, although this one's just softer, but it's due to age. But
Yeah.
I think they changed it for the better.
Yeah, it looks very nice. I actually personally like it a little bit. But yeah, I like the change on it because I like how its eyes are bigger. At least it's a little different. So that's the one that I said that could possibly be an all-star one because there wasn't really too much changes with the enemies. So that one could possibly be an all-star along with the new re-release Fuzzy. But the next one is the biggest difference that could be an all-star, which are these two. Well, kind of this one because the other one's a little tinier. But overall, I personally like these three. So let's review my last one before I get off camera. And it is Pokey. So Pokey is really nice. I really enjoy him really much. He's the one that did not change at all because compared to like how the old ones were, there isn't a difference at all. This Pokey is 1,000. Is like 1,000 out of 1,000. I really love it, and overall a very nice Pokey. But what I thought was different was the Mecha Koopa. It could also be kind of considered all-star because this part was a little different. It's a little more fluffier. Well, maybe it is because we don't actually have the old Pokey. We have the bootleg, which looks similar to it. There's not really much space between the key and the thing, but overall, this restock is very nice. And overall, I really enjoy it. And then the next one is Buzzy Beetle. He's a little more velvety than the old one, and he has beans. The biggest difference is his face, as you can see, compared to the old one.
Okay, Buzzy Beetle difference, not much to say about this one, but just the eyes are more exposed on this one compared to this one. Like with the Spike, the eyes are more tucked in on this one. So yep, and this one has bigger eyes too. And pretty much the only difference, and this one looks more worn because it's about the same age as my old Spike is too. Okay, here is 2021 in plush form, and these all look really lovely together. Let's hope 2022 is even better for plushes because this was already great. We got a lot of new people, some old Koopalings, some nice power-ups. So hopefully they expand their horizons, Sine does, and Super Nintendo World will keep doing the same thing, but hopefully this will be better next year. So thank you all very much for watching this overview, and we hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!